Get this trash out of here before she embarrasses us all. Elena Montgomery's voice echoed through the marble halls of the Chicago Art Institute. Her champagne glass caught the light like a weapon as she shoved Maya backward. 200 of Chicago's elite turned to watch, phones raised. The charity gala had just turned into a public humiliation. Maya Robinson stood still in her simple black dress. No designer labels, no jewelry, while the Montgomery family surrounded her. What they didn't know was that this moment would ruin them all. The night had begun quietly. Maya had arrived with a platinum invitation from the Carter Foundation, a $100,000 sponsor for the gala. She expected to walk in without issue. But Elena Montgomery saw her and immediately decided she didn't belong. Security! Elena shouted, her voice cutting through the music. We have an uninvited guest. Her son, Tyler, started filming on his phone. This is going straight to TikTok, he said. Someone tried to crash the Montgomery Gala with a fake invitation. His sister, Sophia, went live on Instagram. Guys, this is unreal, she whispered. Some girl printed a fake ticket and thought she could sneak in. Elena snatched the invitation from Maya's hand and tore it in half. Look, everyone. A forged pass. The sound of ripping paper echoed through the silent room. The pieces fluttered to the floor like falling feathers. Maya bent down to pick them up calmly as dozens of phones filmed her every move. Around her, the crowd closed in. A circle of designer clothes and judgmental stares. James, Elena said sharply to the head of security. This is a breach. Remove her immediately. Detective James Carter hesitated. Ma'am, I'll need to verify the invitation. Elena scoffed. Verify what? The evidence is right there. Obviously fake. Dr. Patricia Wells, the museum director, checked her tablet. The Carter Foundation is listed here as a platinum sponsor for $100,000. Anyone can fake a name, Tyler said, still filming. Classic scam move. Robert Montgomery, the family patriarch, stepped in. What's going on here? I have a deal to finalize tomorrow morning. Handle that later, Elena snapped. We're protecting the integrity of this event. Maya stood again, holding the torn paper. Her voice was calm. There seems to be a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. Sophia laughed into her live stream. You don't belong here, sweetheart. This is a $10,000 plate event. The chat on her phone flooded with comments. Kick her out. This is awkward. Who invited her? At the back, Judge Margaret Phillips began recording discreetly. Nearby, Dr. Rebecca Harrison whispered to her husband. This doesn't feel right. Elena turned sharply. Rebecca, surely you understand we must maintain standards. Standards, Dr. Harrison said. Or prejudice? The tension thickened. Some guests looked uneasy. Others just kept filming. Tyler grinned at his phone. Sometimes reality hurts people. His views passed 70,000. Before security could move, Elena cut in again. James, the Montgomery family has donated millions to this museum. Our word is enough. Look at her dress. It's off the rack. Her shoes are cheap. Robert's phone buzzed again. David Carter, urgent. He ignored it. Sophia zoomed in on Maya's purse. Fake to sign up ache. Obvious. Someone muttered. This is getting uncomfortable. Maya's phone buzzed inside her clutch. Dad. David Carter, 17 missed calls. She declined. Elena snitted. Even her phone is a distraction. How typical. Dr. Wells checked her watch. The auction starts soon. Maybe we can resolve this privately? No, Elena said coldly. This needs to be handled publicly. The circle tightened. The museum's photographer quietly snapped pictures from different angles. Later, those photos would tell the real story. This is cruel, Dr. Harrison said. I'm leaving. Then resign from our hospital board, Elena replied icily. The crowd murmured. Tyler smirked. That's how power works, he said into his phone. His live stream hit 150,000 views. An older guest spoke up. Young man, this is disgusting. Robert replied smoothly. We're protecting the event's integrity. You're destroying it, the man shot back. Elena raised her hand. Enough. Security, remove this trespasser. Applause broke out from parts of the crowd. Cameras zoomed in as Carter stepped forward. Miss, I'm sorry, but I have to ask you to leave. Maya looked him in the eye. I understand, Officer Carter. His eyes widened. She knew his name. She reached into her clutch and took out her phone. Actually, she said quietly, dialing. I think it's time I make a call. The line connected after one ring. That. Yes, I'm still at the Art Institute. You should probably see what the Montgomery family really thinks about our community. The words hung in the air as silence fell over the marble hall. Cameras were still rolling. And for the Montgomerys, the real show was just beginning. Maya's voice carried through the marble hall. The crowd fell silent. Elena's confident smile faltered. Something in Maya's tone, calm, firm, familiar, sent a chill down her spine. I'm here with Elena, Tyler, Robert, and Sophia Montgomery, Maya said evenly. They've been very educational tonight. Dr. Wells, the museum director, froze. She frantically searched her donor list, scrolling through names. The Carter Foundation. David Carter. Her hands began to shake. Oh my God! Tyler's TikTok stream caught her expression. His 100,000 viewers saw her turn pale. Comments flooded in. Who is David Carter? Why is she panicking? Robert Montgomery made the connection next. His phone had been buzzing all night. Calls from David Carter, CEO of Carter Technologies. The same David Carter whose $850 million deal was supposed to save Montgomery Industries from collapse. His face turned gray. David Carter, he whispered. The David Carter. Judge Phillips looked him up on her phone and read aloud. David Carter, CEO of Carter Technologies. Net worth, $15 billion. Major philanthropist. Gasps spread through the room. Socialites whispered, phones lighting up. Carter Tech, that Carter? No way. Maya's voice stayed calm. Dad, they tore up our foundation's invitation. Called it fake. Said I was, what was it, Tyler? Trash that needed to be removed before I embarrassed everyone. Tyler's live stream shook. His comments turned savage. Wait, what? She's David Carter's daughter? This family is finished. Sophia's Instagram exploded. OMG, it's her. Screenshots. They're done. Elena clutched Robert's arm. Tell me this isn't real. It's real, Robert said weakly. He's our only lifeline. The deal that saves everything. Dr. Wells stammered. Ms. Carter, Maya Carter, I'm so sorry. This is no misunderstanding. Maya interrupted. Everyone here just saw who the Montgomerys really are when they think no one important is watching. Phones kept recording. The energy had shifted completely. Officer Carter backed away. Miss Carter, I was just following orders. I know, Maya said calmly. That's the point, to see how people act when they think no one's watching. She lifted the torn invitation. This is how they treat a $100,000 charity sponsor. A foundation that funds art programs for underprivileged kids. Elena's mouth opened, but no sound came out. Tyler tried to end his TikTok, fumbling. His viewers begged him not to. Don't stop recording. This is history. Maya spoke into her phone again. Dad, should I mention that Tyler streamed this? That Sophia went live to 50,000 people? That Elena called me trash in front of 200 guests. Robert tried to recover. Miss Carter, please, we didn't know. No idea that black women belong here? Maya said, her tone icy. Or no idea that your actions have consequences? The roles had flipped. The Montgomerys now stood in the center, trapped by cameras and silence. Dr. Harrison spoke firmly. This was deliberate discrimination. Everyone saw it. Judge Phillips added, textbook profiling. An elderly guest raised his phone. I recorded everything, from the first insult to now. Maya spoke into her phone. Dad, they're removing me from a gala our foundation sponsors. The same museum we donated $3 million to last year. Elena whispered, please. Your father, our companies, this can't. 40 minutes ago, Maya said softly, ending the call. You called me trash. You filmed it. You laughed. Now you get to live with it. Tyler's stream kept running, now showing his panic. Comments exploded. They destroyed themselves. Instant karma. Best twist ever. Robert's phone rang again. David Carter, answer now. He picked up, trembling. David, please, I can explain. David Carter's voice boomed through the speaker. Robert, I'm 3 minutes away. Don't move. 3 minutes later, the museum doors opened. David Carter entered, tall, composed, flanked by lawyers and assistants. His presence silenced the room. Maya, he said, his voice calm but commanding. Are you all right? I'm fine, Dad, she said. Just learned a few lessons. David turned to the Montgomerys. Robert, I heard about your family's approach to hospitality. Dr. Wells rushed forward, shaken. Mr. Carter, please, the museum takes responsibility. David stopped her. This isn't about the museum, Doctor. It's about the Montgomerys and how they treat people. He faced Robert. Let's talk numbers. Your company owes $1.4 billion. Your stock's down 76%. Without our partnership, you'll be bankrupt in 60 days. His voice hardened. Would have been. Gasps filled the room. David's assistant stepped up. Sir, we've reviewed tonight's footage. She read from a tablet. Tyler Montgomery's TikTok, 5 videos, over 400,000 views, calling Ms. Carter trash and delusional. Sophia Montgomery's live stream. 52,000 viewers, mocking her appearance and class. Elena Montgomery, caught on camera shoving Ms. Carter and destroying her invitation. Elena Tringblid. David, I didn't know who she was. Stop, David said coldly. You didn't mistake her identity. You judged her by her skin and her dress. You humiliated her for entertainment. Dr. Harrison spoke again. Mr. Carter, your daughter handled herself with dignity. The rest was disgraceful. Judge Phillips nodded. It was harassment, pure and simple. David's lawyer added. We have 43 recordings from multiple witnesses. All verified. Robert tried once more. Please, David, don't destroy the company. Our employees. David looked at him sharply. You should have thought about your employees before your family destroyed your reputation in public. Maya spoke quietly. Dad, maybe they can still make things right. Everyone turned to her. If they want a second chance, she said, they can earn it. Public apologies. Bias training for the entire board. A $12 million fund for anti-discrimination programs. Independent diversity audits every quarter. David nodded slowly. And if they refuse, they'll have 60 days to explain to their employees why they lost everything. Robert's voice broke. We accept. David checked his phone. The board meets tomorrow at 10. You have 18 hours to start showing proof of change. And the deal is now probationary, subject to review every quarter. He looked around the silent room. Let this be a reminder, money doesn't buy decency. As he and Maya walked out, the cameras kept rolling. Tyler's stream captured their exit, comments flooding in. Justice served. Legendary. They messed with the wrong woman. And just like that, the Montgomery empire began to crumble. One viral video at a time. 6 months later. The same marble hall where Maya Carter was once embarrassed now hosted the Carter Montgomery Corporate Responsibility Summit. Hundreds of business leaders and activists filled the room. Dr. Patricia Wells spoke first. 6 months ago, this museum saw an ugly moment. But that moment started something good. The Montgomery family sat in the front row, very different from before. Elena wore a plain navy dress and took notes quietly. Tyler filmed short videos for a new purpose, sharing stories from scholarship students. Sophia now used her Instagram to talk about fairness and inclusion instead of fashion. Robert Montgomery walked to the stage. I'm not sharing profits today. I'm sharing people's progress. He clicked through slides. 6 months ago, only 4% of our leaders were Black. 13% were women. None of our suppliers were minority-owned. He smiled slightly. Now, 34% of our leaders are minorities, 51% are women, and 40% of our vendors are from minority-owned businesses. Dr. Angela Mitchell, their new diversity officer, joined him. These aren't just new policies. They're a new way of running a company. The screen showed workers who had been promoted and projects that saved money. Then Elena stood up. Her voice shook. 6 months ago, I humiliated a young woman because of her skin color and my pride. Since then, I've been learning and listening. I now understand how wrong I was. Photos showed her helping at food banks and meeting with local workers. These people taught me that respect doesn't depend on clothes or money. Tyler spoke next. My videos from that night went viral. At first, I was ashamed, but I decided to keep them up so others could see what prejudice looks like. He showed a new video, an interview with students about bias and opportunity. This time, people are watching for the right reasons. Sophia said, I lost followers, but I gained purpose. I now teach about privilege and change. David Carter stepped up. People asked why I gave them another chance, he said. Because destroying people is easy. Helping them change is harder. But that's what truly makes a difference. The screen behind him showed results. $1.4 billion in new revenue. 2,800 new jobs, 70% for underrepresented groups. Dr. Harrison stood. I saw hate turn into action. That's real growth. Judge Phillips added. For once, accountability brought lasting change. Finally, Maya spoke. She was calm and confident. 6 months ago, I was called trash in this very hall. Today, this same room is full of people who chose to change. She clicked through photos of students, workers, and families helped by the foundation. 27 companies now use this same model. 10 states have passed new laws because of what happened here. The crowd cheered. Elena spoke again. I can't undo the past, but I'll spend the rest of my life making sure it never happens again. At the end, 53 companies signed the Chicago Accord, a promise to follow the same path. Tyler filmed a short clip surrounded by students. The caption read, "Growth is possible. Change is real." 2 years later, Maya stood at the United Nations in Geneva. She was now 28, the youngest person to give a speech on justice and equality. 2 years ago, I was judged by my looks and called names, she said. Today, that same moment has changed how companies treat people. On the screen, 1,400 companies using the Chicago model. 37% fewer discrimination cases. 94% more minority leaders. But numbers aren't everything, Maya said. The real change is in the lives touched. Elena Montgomery now taught companies about bias. Her book, The $850 Million Lesson, was used in business schools. Tyler's TikTok reached millions with videos about privilege and respect. Sophia used her page to discuss fairness and opportunity. Robert spoke at business events, sharing how diversity made their company stronger and more successful. Dr. Mitchell summed it up. This isn't charity, it's good business. Inclusion helps everyone. New programs spread worldwide. Hospitals, courts, and schools followed the same model. Maya's film Dignity Interrupted was shown around the world. At home, David Carter told his daughter, "You turned humiliation into hope." Maya smiled. People who try to bring you down only show their own weakness. Photos of smiling students and new workers filled their walls. Sometimes, Maya said, what feels like failure becomes history. At the UN, she ended her speech. Every day we can choose dignity over hate, growth over pride, and kindness over comfort. She looked across the room. The question isn't if you'll face these moments, it's how you'll respond. Asterisk. Will you push others down, or lift them up, and rise together? The room was silent, then filled with applause. What began as one woman's humiliation had become a worldwide movement for change. This story demonstrates that true power isn't the ability to humiliate others. It's the wisdom to transform moments of crisis into opportunities for growth, understanding, and lasting positive change. Have you witnessed discrimination in your workplace or community? Your voice matters in this ongoing conversation about dignity and justice. Research the companies you support. Do they demonstrate genuine commitment to equality? Or are they simply performing diversity without depth? Remember, sometimes the most important deals aren't measured in dollars. They're measured in the dignity we preserve, the justice we create, and the future we build together.